What's up, Facebook? What's going on? What is going on? I don't even know if you can hear me, but we'll see. What's going on, Facebook? There we go. People are coming in now. Hey, guys. Hey. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Happy Friday. I'm doing a Facebook Live on a Friday. Well, anyway, as you hop in the room, let me know who's there. Say hello so I can say hello back before I start running my choppers. What's going on? What's going on? We got some people here. Got some people here because I bet y'all want to know how I got to New York broke and how I got on the set of Empire. I bet y'all want to know. Let me know in the comments if y'all really want to know or if I'm just wasting my time. Let me know in the comments. Oh, God, I'm just dropping everything. Let me know in the comments if you are ready for this. And I was going to try to use my tripod so that I don't have to sit here and hold my phone, but it's just not working out for me, so what the heck. But anyway, guys, thank you for hopping on here on this gorgeous Friday afternoon. My name is Natasha Weston. I'm pretty sure you know that already. And I am a millennial author and lifestyle entrepreneur. And I was sitting here being what do you call it? Convicted, because there has been something laying on my heart to tell you guys for going on a couple of weeks now, and I've been being completely disobedient because I was like, well, I'll just wait until I can film a video and I'll just do it that way. And I was sitting here this morning finishing up voiceovers for something that I'm working on, and I couldn't even, I just lost my enthusiasm. And God was like, that's because you have not opened your mouth and started talking about what I told you to talk about 2 weeks ago. And over the last few days, I've been like, seriously, let me tell y'all something. When God has purposed you to say something, to do something, you better get up and do it, because he won't even let you do nothing else until you do it. So anyway, let me quit rambling about that. Let me backtrack 2 years ago. I came into contact with a woman who is older than I am, and she goes by the name of Solandia Hammond. And you might have seen me share some of her stuff over the last month or so, because she's been, doing a lot. But my mom and I came across a Facebook video that she did, and it completely changed our lives. I ended up getting in contact with her, and I had her on confession session last year, and I've been just following her ever since. And just to see how she has not given up on her dreams, even though she's older than me, it is so inspiring. And just over the past week, a lot has gone on with her. And long story short, she's now in Hollywood. She went to the premiere of this Christmas, almost Christmas, because she's going to be in the movie. So y'all check her out. But the whole point of this is I've watched her. And the one thing that I've noticed that I resonate with her is her just do it attitude. And it brings me to why I wanted to talk, especially to people my age, millennials. It's the difference that I'm finding between myself and a lot of people that I come in contact with my age is my just do it attitude. And I couldn't even sit here, I wouldn't even try to sit here and tell you how many times I've just jumped out on a whim to do something, not knowing what the results would be, but it ended up changing the dynamics of my life. Now, before I keep talking, I see there are 12 people here, but I don't see any comments, so I want to make sure. Okay, never mind. I had it swiped over. I'm sorry. Sorry. Hey, Misty. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Faith. Hey, Ecstasy. Hey, Davida. Okay, never mind. I see y'all on here. So I'm sorry, y'all. I don't use Facebook Live often. So I'm like, wait a minute. I see all these people here, but I don't see anybody. But anyway, in 2009, I was going to college and I was going to be a nurse. And hey, Davita. And I was very enthusiastic about it until reality slapped me, and I was like, I'm just BSing around here in college. I'm just partying, drinking, doing whatever I want to do. Let me put my phone on the charger. And I decided to drop out, y'all. I dropped out, and I didn't for once think about what my parents would say, what my friends would think. Mind you, I'm leaving all of my friends I graduated in high school. They're like getting ready to graduate college, and here I am, dropping out to go sleep on my mom's couch. That was the first big reality check of my life because I had jumped and I didn't know what I had jumped into. I found myself in a place where I had to get real with me and say, okay, you're here. You're not doing what you want to do. You're not happy. So the first thing I said, okay, well, what if I could do anything, what would I do? At that time, I was, really into fashion and I, wanted to try my hands at it. So I started doing research from stolen Wi-Fi. The neighbors that lived next to my mom in her duplex, they had unlocked Wi-Fi. Ugh. And I was stealing their Wi-Fi, using it to do research. And I just remember saying, I don't just want to intern for a little small, mediocre stylist. I got to go big or go home. I had that mindset from the very beginning. And I lived in South Carolina. So, honestly, there's really no fashion industry here. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have to intern for a major company or a major stylist in order to get the type of experience I need because honestly, I'm kind of late doing this. I should have did this fresh out of college, but I let my family talk me out of going to fashion school because that wasn't the traditional thing to do. So, I was already kind of feeling like my time was limited. So I started just Googling BET wardrobe, MTV wardrobe. At that time, 106 and Park was maybe a year and a half in, so it was fairly new. And I was like, okay, I don't know anybody in the fashion industry to even ask. So I Googled a fashion styling book by Kim Maxwell, who was a stylist in Atlanta. And I read her book, and of course, her top advice was to get an internship. But once more, I'm in South Carolina, so where am I going to get an internship? So I didn't let that stop me. Did some more research, ended up coming across LinkedIn. That's when I first got on LinkedIn. If you are a professional, you know what LinkedIn is. And thank you, everybody, for joining. So got on LinkedIn and came across a young lady, a Caucasian young lady who had worked for BET maybe some years before, and she was no longer employed there. But she knew who could get me in the door. So anyway, I, wrote her this nice little sweet message on LinkedIn, introduced myself, and I told her, I was honest from the beginning. I said, look, I live in South Carolina. I would like to learn how to be a stylist. Can you point me in the right direction at BET? I want to try to get an internship. And she gave me the wardrobe director's name, phone number, email, and she said, here, she should be able to help you. So I gave it a few days, and I reached out to her via email, and I was honest with her, gave her the same story, and I said, look, I know that working for a big network, I would have to be in college and get a college credit and all of that. Long story short, she pretty much told me that, she would give me a chance. I told my parents about it, and of course, I'm broke. I don't have no money. I don't have a job. I'm not in school. I'm just freaking broke. So I decided to tell my dad, who to this day he's my number one fan. He's always supportive of anything I wanted to do. And I'm sorry, y'all, the kids are outside. They must have just gotten out of school, so you might hear them. But told him what was going on, and I have family in New York. I have an aunt and an uncle who lives there. So I knew I had a couch to sleep on, worst case scenario. So anyway, reached out to them, told them what was going on. My aunt invited me to come live with her. while I did my internship. So anyway, told my dad about it. He gave me enough money to get a train ticket, and I was off to New York, broke, broke, and not with a real plan. So anyway, got to New York, interned with BET for a while. That didn't go necessarily as planned, but here I am now. I'm in New York without a plan. I don't really know anybody, and I'm like, okay, I can either give up on this dream because Plan A didn't work, or I can go back to South Carolina on my mom's couch and just say to hell with my dreams, pretty much. I didn't decide to go back to South Carolina quite yet. What I did was I got on Facebook and I continued to do research. And I came into contact with Kendrell Bowman, who is from Charleston, small world, right? At the time, Kendrell was a really well-known stylist in New York, and he didn't live too far from me in the Bronx. And I reached out to him and I told him, hey, I came here for an internship with BET. That didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. Can I just come and shadow you, help you out, whatever? And y'all, he invited me to his house and I helped him out for a while. And it wasn't until that internship I discovered I didn't want to do fashion. Crazy, huh? But the point is, I jumped out on a whim. Whereas most people would have been like, I don't have no money, I don't have a plan, I don't know nobody, I'm not going. And while I was telling y'all that story, another one came to mind that I totally forgot. Prior to the BET situation, I had already been in New York before because doing research, I reached out to a young lady who was styling 50 Cent at the time, Lloyd Banks, a lot of the rappers up in New York. She was their stylist. Reached out to her, saw a post that she did. She was looking for interns. And I applied for it, and I made it very clear I didn't have any experience. Well, she ended up, I didn't hear from her right away. And then I remember like a month later, I get this text message saying, hey, call me at 10 o'clock or something at night. So I'm like, well, who is this? So anyway, she told me who she was. And she said she had just got my application or whatever about interning for her, but she was out of the country shooting a movie with 50 Cent. So she was like, hey, do you have a passport? Are you in New York? And y'all, I told her straight up, I was like, yeah, I got everything I need. I'm just, waiting on you to tell me, yeah. And now that I think about it, it's crazy though. It's crazy how, I was so willing and so hungry to do whatever I had to do to get in the right position, to get to wherever it was that I was trying to go. So anyway, she told me, to call her. Called her that night. We spoke on the phone. She said, okay, well, when I get back to New York, I'm going to call you. We could set something up. Maybe you come and join me on set one day, blah, blah, blah. Y'all, I'm not even going to lie to y'all right now. Before she could even call me back, I was in New York. I was in New York, and she never called me back. And I was heartbroken. I was a little discouraged. But I feel like that was my setup for the next time because I had a little more gut when the BET thing came along. And it's crazy. And that was 6-7 years ago. So now here I am in New York, building relationships, working with people who I never thought I'd work with, being able to meet celebrities and be in an arena that I used to watch on TV. And that's just one part of the story, y'all. So fast forward now, I moved back to South Carolina. I have my son, and I write my first book. And then I'm like, okay, what am I going to do next? Because I'm the type of person, like, I'm not just going to stop at one dream. I'm going to pursue them all. And if y'all been following me for a while, y'all know that. And so then I started to get serious about, learning the television industry. And at that time, BET was really the only experience I had as far as television. But one of my dreams is to do TV hosting. That's one of my dreams. I've shared that with y'all before. And so I wanted to start getting familiar with the television industry, rather it was being on the set, meeting people in the industry who had done it before, interning, whatever the case may be. So I started doing research, got in contact with some agencies who would and could find me bookings for like extra work and stuff like that, which is, in the television industry, like very insignificant. You'll hear people say that all the time. But I always saw the bigger picture. Always saw the bigger picture, y'all. And I do believe that that's one of my biggest advantages in life. And it's how I'm able to really, most of the time, stay in a really positive mind frame, is my ability to see the bigger picture and not look at all of the small little baby steps that come in between. And I think that's a big disconnect here in our community. We want the fancy cars, the big houses. We want the recognition. We want the accolades. We want the applause. We want the nice fancy vacations, the pretty expensive handbags. We want to wear the hottest shoes. We want to date the hottest men, women. We want to be important. We want to be in arenas with people who are up here. But we forget that in order to get here, there's a ladder that you must climb. And sometimes, let me take that back. Most times, that ladder, you have to build yourself. And you've got to be strategic about it. You've got to not look at a small opportunity as a small opportunity. And so, being Mary Jane, y'all watch the show, Gabrielle Union, star. I get an email, hey, are you available to be an extra on Being Mary Jane? Mind you now, I'm in Greenville, South Carolina at the time. I'd already moved back from New York. I'm like, okay, it's not paying a lot, but at least I'll get firsthand experience of being on the television set. Okay, that's a first step. All right. Take some days off work, go to Atlanta, film. But I didn't go there with the mindset of, oh, well, you're not really doing much here. You're just here on set to fill in. I didn't look at it that way. Y'all, when I got on set, I met so many people, important people, who I connected with, still have relationships with. And it gets better. That was the first time. A few weeks later, they contacted me again to come back. But here's the amazing thing. This time, every person that I met on set the first time, they remembered me, called me by name the second time. So you see, not only did I go there with a positive mindset, looking for the bigger picture, which was me getting a feel of what goes on, who does what, because that stuff is important. When you go after a dream, you can't just learn one aspect of it. You've got to see it from all angles, right? And so that was amazing to me. Did that and kind of went on with my life after that experience. It was an amazing experience. And time went by, the year kind of went through, and I didn't I went through an agency. And time went by and life started to happen, and I kind of just pushed it back to the back burner again. Did a vision board last year, around this time, November. On that vision board, I put Empire on there among a million other things. Didn't think anything of it. I do vision boards all throughout the year, so it wasn't necessarily something that I really thought that much about. But I knew that I wanted to continue to not just work on little rinky-dink shows. I wanted to be on the physical set of my favorite shows. Favorite shows. Being Mary Jane was a show I used to blog about. So to be on the set twice, filming within inches of Gabrielle Union was a phenomenal experience. Empire on my vision board, November 2015. Put it on there, put it on my desk, left it there. Continue to get up every day, work towards my goals, work towards my dreams. December 31st, I believe, came. And I just remember at the time, we were struggling. I mean, struggling. We had moved back to my hometown, and my grandmother had got really sick, and a lot was going on at the time. I was pretty much solely responsible for a lot, and I continued to move forward. I continued to work, not knowing how things would turn out. Long story short, I just remember laying in my bed crying. Cried so much that day until I fell asleep, I guess. 2 weeks prior to that, the opportunity to go on the set of Empire fell in my lap. This was the second time this had happened. The first time I talked myself out of it because it was all the way in Chicago, and how was I going to get to Chicago? Like, I didn't have the money to do it. Came around twice, y'all. So I said, okay, I'm going to just send my information and just see what happens. You know, that whole throw it, see if it sticks on the wall. That's what I did. Honestly, I didn't expect them to contact me. January 1st, 2016, laying in the bed, like I was just telling y'all, crying, praying to God, God, I need to see some light. Where is it? Because what am I doing to where I worked all these years and I'm not seeing any manifestation really? Not in my eyes, at least. Praying to him, y'all, like crying my eyes out. Took my nap, woke up, and y'all know the first thing we do when we wake up is do what? We roll over, we check our phones. First email I see, the name of the casting agency, Empire, Chicago, date. Before I could even click on the email, I'm sitting there like, God, are you serious right now? Click on the email. Long story short, they're checking my availability to see if I could come film for Empire. It was two weeks, barely 2 weeks after I got the email. That's when the filming date was like January 8th or 9th or something. So I just remember waking up, jumping out the bed, jumping up and down like, thank you, God. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I wasn't thinking, how am I going to get there now? I'm thinking, thank you, God, for this light and for choosing me, really. So I go run downstairs. I tell my mom. She's like stupid excited. So then I'm like, okay, now I got to figure out how I'm going to get to Chicago. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. Part of me was like, yes, Krista, it was amazing. A part of me was like, you be a damn fool to go all the way to Chicago for just a little extra role. You don't really even have, it's a more significant role. It's a smaller scene than Mary Jane, but still, like, why would you do that? Like, why would you do that? Like, y'all know how we get when we self-sabotage. But I did not let that stop me. From building a network that I built online over the last 8-9 years, you guys, because I'm sure it's a lot of y'all in here, Krista, so many of you helped me get to Chicago. Within 48 hours, I raised more than enough money to go. And got there, y'all, and when I tell you the experience, it wasn't about the role. It was about being in the room. We get blindsided by the role. Y'all don't understand what being in the room. When I tell y'all I was this close, the scene that I was in, Terrence Howard was like in between takes, sitting there conversating with me, talking to us. If I could have had my phone out, I would have been taking pictures. I'd have been showing. But y'all, to be in the room, to be in the midst of where you want to be, the types of people you want to kick it with, that is the difference between you, me, and whoever has made it already. You have to physically put yourself where you want to be. And a lot of times y'all get so caught up with the role and how small it might look. That is irrelevant. Do you not understand how, y'all, I was so inspired by being in the room. I came back and wrote a book in 3 months. 3 months based off of that experience. I would have never had that motivation to do it had I not physically put myself in the room where I want to be. Stop thinking that because you don't have the experience, because the world says you're not qualified, that completely disbars you from being up here. It does not. But you got to be the one to put yourself there. No, I didn't get a speaking role in Empire. No, I didn't get a speaking role in Being Ranger. You best what? I built the relationships with the people that make the show now. I know now what doors to do, what things I need to do now to step it up to the next level. And sometimes you just got to put yourself in the room. It's saying my connection is weak. I'm losing people. Let me know if y'all can still see me. If not, I might have to get off and come back on. Y'all still there? Y'all still there? Looks like it's coming back on. Okay, I think y'all are still there. Do y'all understand what I'm trying? Do y'all understand? Because I want to make sure that y'all understand why it's important. Okay, I think we're good now. You have got, thank you so much, Jessica. You've got to put yourself in the room. You can't wait on nobody to do it for you. Whatever door you've got to take to get in there, get in there. I went to New York broke, left with life-changing opportunities. So much until I went there as an unexperienced college dropout, broke as hell, left, and now the people I used to intern for, the people who I used to reach out for opportunities, are now hiring me, seeking me for advice, seeking me for motivation, seeking me for my expertise. It's not about the experience you don't have. How are you going to get the experience? How are you going to shake it up and make it yours? Just last week, Keita Williams from the T.O. Show, she's a phenomenal publicist in entertainment. I used to intern for her and Mo. To hear her tell me last week, I'm proud of you. Almost 8 years later, because I was in the room. The money wasn't there, no. The money wasn't there. The money wasn't there. But because my dreams meant so much to me, every time, every situation I just shared with y'all, I know the importance of being in the room. The importance, the power of having a just do it attitude. A lot of y'all are being held back because you're wondering, oh, it's going to be too many people there that know what they're talking about. Ooh, they got the experience. Ooh, they know so-and-so. So what? So? Sue Ham, I applaud this woman. She went to Chicago 2 years ago, I think. I think it was already, 2 years ago, for David E. Talbert's seminar. She didn't have no money. She had filed bankruptcy. She had her cars repossessed. She had lost everything. Grown-ass woman, y'all, who I'm sure, because she's from South Carolina too, a small King Street. I'm sure, because I know how it is to have those ones, in the church and stuff who tell you, you too old to do that. You too old. You just need to get a job. You just need to forget about that because you're too old. I know she has heard it all. I know she's heard it all. But that woman got to Chicago and everything stopped her. She went to that seminar. And let me tell y'all something. The man, David E. Talbert, booked her to be in his movie, Almost Christmas, coming out next Friday. Y'all go see it. And although she only had a small role in this movie that's coming out, guess what? She's in the movie. Something a lot of us can't say. Because she knew the importance of getting to that seminar. She knew the importance of getting in that movie. And now, last minute, she just experienced being at the LA premiere with all of the stars of the movie. No, she didn't get to go to dinner with them last night. No, she didn't get to ride in the limo to the premiere with them. No, she didn't get to sit right next to them. But guess what? She was in the room. She was in the room. Y'all gotta stop dummying down y'all stuff. Be who you are. Get in the room. I don't care how small the role is. Get in the room. Get in the room and then make your own movie. Do your own thing. Qualify your own self. That is where your power is going to lie. That's where your power lies. I might not have all the money I want right now. I might not live in a nice fancy house. But y'all, I know the importance of a just do it attitude. That's something that I thank God every day for blessing me with. I know how to take nothing, make it something. You have got to, Krista, you just took the words out of my mouth. You got to put yourself in position. You got to do it. I can't do it for you. You got to do it. A celebrity can't do it for you. The people we watching on TV can't do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. And a lot of times we don't want to take the small steps to get to the big, extravagant end goal. We don't want to read no more. Let's keep it real, y'all. We don't want to read. We think that the person that can help us, we don't want them to help us because we don't want them to think that we care or we like what they're doing. So we won't like their status, or we won't share it, or we won't even buy it because y'all stop that, man. Come on. Like, y'all, like, you hurting yourself. It's people right in your corner that can help you, but you won't even reach out to them. You won't even let them help you because of your pride. Pride is going to keep you poor, and pride is going to kill you before you even get physically in the ground. That's what it's going to do. It's just time out for it, man. I don't want to be that person that's always sitting back watching somebody else live their dreams. The hell with that. I'm qualified too. Be happy for people. No, let me rephrase that. Be genuinely happy for people. I'm talking about to the point where when you're watching the great things that they're doing, you're smiling. You're telling people their story because it's so inspirational, because it's changing. Let me tell you, last night watching, like, I literally didn't go to sleep till I knew she was done with her live videos. And I woke up this morning with a new energy. I was just so motivated by just knowing her story and seeing how she just never stops. I will get what I set out to do. And one of my biggest prayers all of these years was, God, give me influence. Not influence to abuse it and to abuse others, but give me the influence. Give me the stories. I thank God that I could tell y'all I was on the set of Empire, that I got invited by the White House, that I was recognized by the White House, that I used to work for BT. I'm glad I could tell y'all those things. I'm glad I have the influence, but I'm not telling y'all that to brag, to boast. The stories come to help you, to provoke you to get up off your butt and do something about your life. My life did not change, y'all, until I stopped waiting on somebody else to put me in the room. You have got to put yourself in the room. Like, you cannot continue to sit down and watch everybody else around you doing it big, living their dreams, being in the room with people you want to be in the room with, but you're too afraid. You too prideful. It's going to kill you guys. It's too many of us dead before we're dead. And that's why. Just do it attitude. The saying goes, live in the moment. Sometimes you got to live in the moment. Sometimes that's how your life is going to change. Everything's not going to be planned out perfectly. You're not always going to have the right answers. Sometimes you're not going to have no answers. Sometimes you're going to go to a city, get off the plane, and be looking around like a deer in headlights because you don't know which way you're going next. I have been there too many times. I'm in that position right now as I'm talking to you. You'll never know. You'll never know. The God that I serve, y'all, he owns every freaking thing I'm looking at out this window, on my patio. He owns everything I dream about. So why shouldn't I be qualified to go sit with Terrence Howard and Taraji? Why? Why? But God is not going to drop mansions and cars and influence out the sky. He want to see how bad you want it. Because if it was that easy, everybody would have it, right? Get in the room. Get yourself in the room. Because when you get in the room, it gives you the motivation. Just to be on the set of a show that I watch on my TV every week, to be sitting there talking to Terrence Howard and him telling us what we need to do to make things better for our, in the union and all of this stuff. Like, for him to even acknowledge, and let me tell y'all this, because I've been on this set before where actors aren't very friendly. But that's not the point. The point is to be in his presence, to be in a room with people who I want to be able to call up and have lunch with, or I want to be able to travel with and walk red carpets with. All of that belongs to me, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but it belongs to me, and that's where I belong. But I can't sit here and not do nothing in the meantime. You got to work towards it. You got to make the little baby steps priority. What are you going to do in the meantime? While you waiting on the blessings, while you waiting on the big end goal, the things you put on your vision board, they're not going to happen if you just sitting around all year. It's a lot of us here who made a vision board either December or January and have done absolutely nothing towards getting whatever it was that you had on that vision board. Are we going to do another year where we say we want something, but we do nothing in the meantime? Are we going to do that in 2017? I think it's kind of played out. What do y'all think? I am just so passionate about seeing people win. And I know, and it's something I'm still working, I know I can't influence everybody. Nor do I want to, honestly. But the ones who have been, you come on my lives, you inbox me, you like everything. I know who's been there. But to still see people going in circles every year, gosh. I mean, I've been at this thing for 8 years. It ain't here. I still haven't seen everything manifest. But I'll be damned if I just sit down and die. Because what I see around me don't look like what my dream looks like. A lot of times I didn't go through door A or B. I went through C. Did y'all catch that? This lazy spirit that we got, where we don't want to do nothing. We just want it given to us. We just feel entitled, and all because I don't have the money, you should help me. All because I don't have the money, you should do it for me for free. Or all because I don't know that person, you should give me the introduction. Nah, boo. Get up. Do it yourself. Go send that person that email who you don't think gonna respond. How much you want to bet they gonna respond? Y'all got to stop being afraid, man. This world is big. It's really big. It's bigger than we even imagine. So why can't you have what you want? Ask yourself that question. I just believe that every person here can have, you can have it, man, but you just gotta work for it. And don't just say you working, but really work for it. And get people out of your head, man. Like, stop listening to all these experts and teachers and coaches. And I stopped calling myself a coach because I don't necessarily want to be nobody. Like, you got to coach your own self. You got to know what information is for you and what's not for you, and cut it off and do what you will with what you got. I was talking to a friend last night who called me and said, I got to find something different. This isn't working for me, but I don't know what else to do because this is the thing I really love. And y'all know what I told him? Well, if you calling me for sympathy, or if you calling me to tell you, oh, I understand, yeah, you should probably just do this, you called the wrong friend, boo. Because I ain't going to be the one to tell you that. This is what you do. You keep working towards it. You keep working towards that thing. Listen, this is the thing about a door. This is the thing about a door. And I'm going to demonstrate because I like demonstration. Open my door. All right. I'm pushing this door, right? Push it some more. Push it some more. Push it some more. What do you see, y'all? It's open, right? It's open. That's how it works. That's how it works. Sometimes when you push it, it might be a little stubborn. It might not swing open. It might not swing open in the first push. But you keep pushing it. After a while, it's got to open. I digress. Just wanted to share that because people ask me all the time, you know, how did you do this? How did you do that? Blah, blah, blah. When y'all see me create stuff, do stuff, be somewhere, travel somewhere, I guarantee you it wasn't easy for me to get there. In most cases, I was at the lowest point in my life. But I will never give up. I will push that door every day until it opens. And I challenge y'all to do the same thing. Get in position. Put yourself in position. Stop waiting on other people to do it for you. Please. Hope y'all have a great rest of Friday. Great weekend. And I will talk to y'all later.